Welcome to my channel, A Daily Dose of China. I need your support to reach 1000 views and 1000 subscribers. If you don't mind, can you press the red subscribe button below this video? I will be really appreciate it. China's new high-speed train from Hong Kong to Guangzhou. China will be the world's top tourist destination by 2030, by which time a vast network of high-speed rail services will link the country. We take the first bullet train out of Hong Kong. The identical apartment blocks and mousy brownfields were as unremarkable as the pale screw blend. It should have made for an unremarkable entry into China's Guangdong province, except it wasn't. The thrill of being aboard Hong Kong's first bullet train, the Vibrant Express, was all about speed, not scenery. Aerodynamic, gleaming white and polished to perfection, the pointy-nosed train had departed Hong Kong's brand newest Kowloon station, one of the world's largest partly subterranean stations, on time. Just 48 minutes later, we glided quietly and smoothly into Guangzhou, the provincial capital of Guangdong and China's third largest city, home to 14 million people. Information boards in the station claimed that the Vibrant Express is the latest of 5,000 high-speed trains that operate daily across China, part of the country's record-breaking multi-billion-dollar expansion of high-speed rail. Awestruck and making unfavorable comparisons with the UK's doddering rail network, I had lingered in Hong Kong's newest station before setting off. First, I queued to dine at a branch of Tim Ho Wan, Hong Kong's most affordable Michelin star restaurant. I marked the paper order slip as I waited, then my number was called and I was seated. 10 minutes later, a bamboo basket of fragrant steamed shrimp dumplings, a pot of tea and a plate of tonic medlar and petal cake were delivered, all for 7.70. The dumplings were predictably good, but the cake was sublime, a flour-flavored jelly made with medlars and goji berries that delivered myriad of tastes and textures. The two women I shared my table with told me, between bites of chicken feet, that they were heading home to Beijing by high-speed train. Why not fly, I asked. Chinese airplanes are often delayed and the airports are far from home, they said in unison. Their journey would take 10 hours and cost 120 second class. My guidebook, published only last year, reported that the journey takes 24 hours. That's how fast the Chinese rail system is developing. And it's just as well, given the predicted volume of inbound visitors that will see China become the world's #1 tourist destination by 2030, overtaking France, according to research released this week. After the dim sum, I took a glass elevator to the pedestrian skywalk on the roof. Wooden walkways lined with tall grasses led to views of Hong Kong's handsome Victoria Harbour. Behind me was Kowloon, a wall of dense grid-like apartment blocks with thumping basketball courts, chess players and trees filled with twittering sparrows. I'd just spent 2 nights there, within walking distance of the new station. I resented the curt waiters. Hong Kong service is often brusque at best, marveled at the zen-like Tai-Chi practitioners, and was surprised, at night, to stumble upon a gang of sex toy hawkers just off Nathan Road who laid their plastic goods out next to a row of fortune tellers. Even without the crowds, Guangzhou South would be disorientating. No ATM worked for me, my phone reported no signal, and the staff at the information desk politely shook their heads when I asked if they spoke English. Eventually, my phone latched on and I found my prearranged guide, a well-traveled young Chinese woman who insisted I call her Jane, even though her Cantonese name translated beautifully as Purple Summer. I liked Guangzhou on sight. Its streets, once awash with Pearl River Delta traders, now showcase a mix of the outlandishly new and the very old. The architectural star is the Opera House, designed by Zaha Hadid and sitting in the shadow of 400-meter-tall finance buildings. Its boulder-like granite and glass design, twice yearly cleaning costs $550,000, I was told was inspired by pebbles in the nearby Pearl River. Public gardens were filled with picnicking families and the scent of cut grass. Some streets have only low-rise villas, and the half-empty metro system has a dedicated ladies' line for rush hour. A few steps off Pedestrian Street, one of the main shopping drags, filled with street food stalls of stinky tofu, durian and meat cookies, the alleyways felt timeless. Dog walkers strolled with their poodles past old tea shops, laundry fluttered in the breeze. Jane took me to Fen Fang Cafe on Tong Fu Road, where I ordered fresh sesame and peanut steamed dumplings, and the lighter jellied water chestnut cake. Little has changed since it opened in 1982. When I handed Jane a napkin, she knocked 2 fingers on the table. It's what we do to say thank you so we don't have to stop eating, she said. Guangzhou is a food-focused city. That night on Shamian Island, bordered by a canal, I was drawn to the only obvious bar, Lucy's, with its flickering neon sign. Sitting solo in the garden with a Tsingtao beer, I couldn't lean on my phone for company as there's still no mail, Instagram or Twitter in China. I browsed the menu. There were as many rules as drinks. No outside food, no chess, no card games, strictly no Hong Kong dollars. Outside, young holidaying couples popped open suitcases and changed outfits, posing for photographs outside the 19th century mansions. Hangovers from when Shamian Island was home to French and British trading concessions. When I checked into my hotel, I followed the receptionist's finger to a small round camera and was photographed. The following day, after visiting the Chen clan ancestral hall with its Penjing bonsai trees and folk art, I visited Guangzhou's notorious Chinese medicine market, Qingping. It was grimly fascinating. Cardboard boxes of fish maw swim bladders, scorpions and dried seahorses stood next to less controversial bags of glossy dates, mushrooms the size of car wheels and sacks of walnuts.
From there, Jane led me a short way to a nondescript statue of a man. Known as the father of China's railroad, Zhang Tianyu (1861–1919) was the chief engineer responsible for the Peking-Kalgan Railway to Inner Mongolia, built between 1905 and 1909, the first railway constructed in China without foreign assistance. Today, China has around 25,000 kilometers of high-speed railway lines, 66% of the world's total. Despite setbacks with corruption and safety issues, the biggest rail expansion the world has ever seen continues to set records, joining cities and towns, and cutting through mountains, bamboo forests and snowfields. China aims to cover 45,000 kilometers by 2030. This modest statue of Zhang Tianyu, on a traffic-snarled corner of Guangzhou, stands as a reminder of how far China has come.